Here's a question. Does ADHD make it harder, more challenging to be a therapist? That depends. Is your ADHD managed? That is going to be the biggest question of all. Is it actually managed? So if your ADHD is not managed, you will be challenged to be a therapist, because part of having ADHD means that you need to be regulating your nervous system. If I am deeply dysregulated, it means that my nervous system is going to dysregulate my client's nervous system. So number one, are you regulated? Do you have your ADHD managed? That's going to be a really big thing. One of the gifts of having ADHD as a therapist is the hyperfocus, where when we find a topic area, we are going to swan dive and become experts in that thing. Like, you are going to know that topic area through and through and through and through, and you will be an incredible resource for your clients. So that is a big thing. That's a great win. That's a great asset of having ADHD. One of the cons of having ADHD is maybe forgetfulness, the time management side of things, and how we understand ourselves. And do we project our beliefs onto our clients? Are we projecting our clients with rejection sensitivity dysphoria? Like, when a client is getting mad at us when we're in session, how do we react and how do we respond? Do we get activated by our clients? And that's going to be a really big thing, is that we have to understand our ADHD and how it shows up in our lives, so that when we get activated and or triggered by our clients, we know that that is an us thing that we need to work through, versus, I don't like my client, they're an ass. That's not okay. We have to regulate ourselves, that when we are getting activated, that we can regulate ourselves so that we can be a really good therapist even when we're dysregulated in session. That's a really big thing. I think one of the things that makes it challenging to, as an ADHD therapist, is our time management side of things. So what that means is, am I showing up to sessions late? Am I running over on my session time? And those are red flags as a therapist, is when our sessions are starting late because we're running late, and or our session times running over. Sometimes I know for sure our sessions will run over. That's going to happen. But is it a consistent, pervasive thing? Like, if our session times are 50 minutes or 80 minutes or whatever that time frame is, it's actually a really important thing that we're staying within it. And that can be a challenge for ADHD therapists. I'm also an EMDR therapist. And so part of being an EMDR therapist and ADHD means that there's actually a lot of paperwork that goes along with it. And I remember once seeing a therapist where there was a lot of papers rustling around, and they're always looking at their papers and rustling everywhere. And I found it really, really, really distracting. So part of my method of helping myself to stay organized as a therapist is having everything on my iPad in a safe and secure way. Everything is here so that I'm not distracting my clients, that I'm also not losing things, because that happens if we have a lot of paperwork and we have all these big files everywhere. If they're in a digital, secure digital database, has been incredibly, incredibly helpful. That is an actual key thing, is finding a management system that works really, really, really well for you, that's also not going to distract your client, that's going to impact them. So ADHD has its pluses and its minuses as a therapist, but where you work can make all the difference. Should you be in private practice, or is being an employee a better fit for your ADHD brain? I've done both, and in this video, I'm breaking down my experience to help you figure out what would work best for you.